Hey everybody, have some more paper mache sweets for you, so let's see how I did it. So using some recycled newspaper, we're going to angrily mold that into a shape of a donut, a circle if you will, and you can kind of just make your own circles, put them together, tape them up, do whatever you feel that you should do in shaping this donut. So you can make as many donuts as you like, and that's what I did. And then I also kind of added a little bit of detail to some of the donuts by making them appear like they were bitten by just cutting pieces of the donuts out. And here is the homemade starch and the recipe. And the infamous paper strips we will be dipping into the homemade starch. Yes, we will. Now the wet paper strip applique begins as we start to sculpt and shape the paper onto the pre-sculpted donuts that we already sculpted out of the newspaper. And this is just to really form and get the shape of the donut and really start this artistic venture of a paper mache sculpture. And it's going to give it structure so that it will hold, of course. It'll also give the donuts a sturdy base to build texture and design onto. So I'm using these little party napkins that I found at the dollar store, and I will be using this tissue for different elements of design and effects, and I'm using it for the bitten effect of the donut, for icing, and different lines and shapes to kind of transform the donut into exactly what variety and type that I want it to be. And using this tissue for added texture turned out really great on the French cruller donuts, as well as it did on the other ones as well. So this is definitely something to keep in mind when you do this. So these are obviously the donuts in their dry form, and they are ready to go. I'm using pink gift wrap tissue, and I'm just brushing and sculpting it onto the donut. This is going to seal in and smooth out all the textures and details and really just give the donut a nice smooth finish for priming and painting. So I decided to use little gummy bear details on the donuts, so I thought I'd show you how I sculpted them. So using paper products, I decided to take a rolled up piece of paper and use it as a base for the gummy bear. Then I used rolled up pieces of tissue for the nose and the ears to create the upper part of the gummy bear shape. And I used the back of a paintbrush to kind of push and sculpt and mold them onto the paper base. And I also used rolled up pieces of tissue paper for the arms and the feet of the gummy bear. This is what they look like dry, and I used gift wrap paper to kind of cover and smooth and seal. Then once I did that, I glue gunned them onto the donuts before I decided to prime them. They're primed and covered with gesso acrylic paint primer. So for the painting and coloring, I used acrylic paint and I mixed a bunch of different shades and created custom shades to go from the realistic looking donuts to the fake cartoon inspired donuts. And for the seal finish, I'm using modpodge. For the old-fashioned glaze, I'm using a quick dry version of Fabric Fusion. tends to be very messy and it dries very fast. I recommend the original version, but it's up to you. So these are the finished donuts. I decided to make one a powdered donut. For only a few of these donuts, I use Mod Podge, the matte version, and also Mod Podge, the gloss version. I've been dying to make a pink frosting donut, so I did that. Chocolate covered donuts with wannabe M&Ms. And this is the gummy bear donut with blue frosting, and it is my favorite. Last but not least, the French cruller, and it came out really good, very realistic and nice finish. So now that I'm finished, I am finished. These paper mache donuts are considered decorative pieces and sculpture. You can use them wherever you want for whatever you want, and they do not disappoint. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think.